My guy, what with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies dear improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Citi Business News brought to you by Goyle and MTN. Nashika Caesar has the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. Coming up, financial analysts commends government for securing the IMF approval for the $3 billion loan. Also, Chamber of Petroleum Consumers COPEC appeals to National Petroleum Authority NPA to reverse increment in the unified petroleum price and fuel marking margins. The details of our stories now. Financial analysts have applauded government's efforts at securing the approval of the $3 billion balance of payment extended credit facility by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Despite recommendation, the government has also been cautioned against fiscal indiscipline going forward, as it is critical to the restoration of microeconomic stability. There's more in the following Citi Business News Desk reports.
The final approval was made during the Executive Board's meeting held on Wednesday following Ghana's receipt of financing assurances from the Paris Club and other bilateral creditors. This comes months after Ghana sought help from international lenders to provide financing assurances, which is a prerequisite for the IMF's board to sign off the funds program for the country. Government is expecting the disbursement of the first tranche of $600 million within a week. Reacting to the approval, Professor Gachi said Ghana is on track to see some correction in balance of payment deficits.
I think it's a welcome news. Welcome news because the government now has support for its policies. Government credibility will be given to government fiscal policy measures that they put in place, because the IMF will serve as a police officer to guide the process and to monitor that things are done well.
Professor Godfred Bobkin also shared similar views.
It's good news for Ghana. It tells that the economy is taking a turn for macroeconomic stability. In the last 6 months, as a country, all that we have been doing is to prepare for the arrival of this program. So now that it has been approved, yes, we can say that, yes, it's good news, but it may not call for celebration. Remember that getting an IMF program is work.
Professor John Gachi also reiterated calls for government to be more prudent in its fiscal policy direction.
Well, I think the management of the finances have been so disastrous, and that should be the focus, to make sure we repair things that were not done well. We focus to ensure that true prudence is brought to bear in our financial management.
Meanwhile, the IMF will hold a virtual press conference today to give further details on the outcome of the IMF Executive Board's meeting on Ghana's bailout request. The IMF will also publish full details of Ghana's economic recovery program, as well as the necessary conditions associated with the program, in an IMF staff report.
That was a news desk report filed by Netili Neti Ajahu. Now, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers COPEC is appealing to the National Petroleum Authority NPA to reverse the increment in the Unified Petroleum Price Fund UPPF and fuel marking margins. COPEC indicates the recent increment has contributed to price buildup of petroleum products, which will affect the prices of petroleum products in the second pricing window in May. The NPA, according to COPEC on Tuesday, May 16, increased the UPPF from 47 pesos to 75 pesos per litre on petrol and diesel, while fuel market margins was also increased from 4 pesos to 9 pesos per litre on petrol and diesel. Speaking to Citi Business News, the head of research and training at COPEC, Paul Eric Ofori, urged the NPA to consider other alternatives to bring relief to consumers of petroleum products.
We should have seen prices at the pumps within the region of 11.5, 11.9 maximum for diesel and petrol, respectively. But this morning, you see some of them still selling within 12, thereabout. And that's because of the 32 pesos increment that has been slapped on the price build-up by the NPA. And so it's unfortunate that the regulator just overnight would decide to push some of these things down the throat of OMCs, which in the long run, the consumer is the one going to suffer some of these things. So we are appealing that this is relooked. If need be, we've submitted alternatives to them. They could consider some of these alternatives rather than the UPPF almost all the time from 9 pesos, and today we are seeing about 75 pesos as UPPF margin. And you wonder what really is going on. Then again, the fuel market from 4 pesos all the way to 9 pesos. What is going on?
Paul Eric Ofori is head of research and training at the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. Let's stay a while longer on this issue because in a response to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission's recent decision to increase tariffs for electricity and natural gas by 18.36%, an expert has also expressed concern, suggesting that a more moderate increment would have been acceptable and manageable for consumers. Adomaku Kusi Apia is the West Africa Regional Director of Research and Public Policy think tank, CATS International, and he criticized the magnitude of the tariff hike and advocated for lesser increment.
The whole thing is that you did an increase in January, and now we are in May, and you are doing another increase. I mean, now we don't know how the impact of IMF will have on the city performance. So you are more like running. And the thing is that whenever the dollar goes down, in December, the dollar came as low as 70 cedis to a dollar. That means there was under recovery. There was over recovery in terms of the dollar exchange, but PRC never mentioned that thing to Ghanaians. Of course, that was a short lived. So the rush in doing this thing, I mean, it's very bad. If they are even done so 5%, that would have been acceptable. But this 18% for us is very, very upset to Ghanaians. And it's kind of a conspiracy against Ghanaian business and consumers at this very moment.
You heard the West Africa Regional Director of Research and Public Policy, CATS International, Adomaku Kusi Apia. Now, as part of strategies to meet the demands of companies and individuals involved across the manufacturing spectrum, Propac Ghana is scheduled to have its inaugural ceremony in Accra on June 6 to 8, 2023. The event platform, which promises to offer a forum for trading, business networking, learning and product sourcing, will host more than 40 speakers who will speak on innovative and transformation topics. In a media interaction at a pre-event conference in Accra, the regional director for West Africa at AfroSet Montgomery, George Pearson, indicated that the event will ensure Ghana's plan at transforming its economy from one heavily reliant on natural resources to a true value-added export-led economy.
Propac Ghana really, it's a number of things. One, you are bringing in international technology partners. So it's not just the big companies looking for the multinationals. You know, we have a range of solutions and products from companies that will be providing lines for cutting mango, for lines for making mango pulp or pineapple pulp, right through to the SMEs that are looking for good quality but affordable, sustainable packaging. So it really is the whole value chain. If you are someone within agro-processing, whether you're a manufacturer, it's putting the technology and products on place so those SMEs or those multinational companies can come and source the products right through the manufacturing value chain.
George Pearson is the Regional Director, West Africa at AfroSet Montgomery. On his part, the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Albert Kasim Diwura, urged businesses to enhance their product presentation to meet international standards to help shore up revenue. Now, on the interbank foreign exchange market where banks trade among themselves, the dollar lost 2 pesos and is selling at Nashika Caesar. Have a good business day.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Run 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost, but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Run 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home. Shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is. Where the passion is. Where the laughter is. And sometimes, even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
We understand there's heavy traffic on both sides of the motorway. If you are on, keep us posted. It appears there was an accident on the road and it's led to traffic. And the clouds are also forming. So it looks like some rain in the southern parts of the country. So you need to dress in anticipation. Keep the kids warm. Make sure they're wearing all their warm clothes for those of you who have to drop them in school this morning. Citi Business News was brought to us by MTN. And this is the umpteenth time we're repeating this announcement. All valued customers, please, if you haven't registered your SIM card with a Ghana card, you just lose this. And this one is forever. You know, like the way they give the part of the forest to their relative forever. Like all unregistered phone numbers.
There's no other chance.
Will be disconnected permanently by 31st May forever. Complete your registration with your Ghana card, your GPS address, and your unique code at any MTN service center or any of our MTN agents across the country. Register your SIM card to avoid disconnection permanently and stay connected everywhere you go. Now, Kickoff is brought to us by Lesheo Savings and Loans. We've been supporting investment goals of our customers with attractive solutions. We are a safe haven for depositors who value security and competitive returns in equal measure. Talk to us about our 91-day, our 182-day, or 365-day deposit products. Give us a call on 057-770-7700. Let's share who, let's improve life. Also brought to us by Shell Fuel Save. Our triple action formula improves engine efficiency, prevents deposit buildup, and protects your engine from wear and corrosion for extra clean, extra protection, and extra savings. Switch to Shell Fuel Save today because extra kilometers go a long way. Nathan Kwao is our host on Thursdays, Charlie. Yesterday, Madrid, I'm so.
Charlie.
I was both happy and sad. I was happy that they were giving a taste of their own medicine. Yeah. But I was sad it was Man City that did it.
Man City were brilliant last night, and we'll be talking a bit about Man City later. But in other headlines, the GFA has banned Asante Kotoko player Nicolas Mensah for a year for double registration, and Yusuf Basigi has dismissed the Black Princesses' favourites tag ahead of the WAFU Zone B Girls Tournament. And we begin with some local football, and the Ghana Football Association has handed a one-year ban to Kotoko player Nicolas Mensah from all football-related activities. The ban was announced yesterday by the FA after it concluded its investigations into a complaint filed by Aduana Stars on Mensah's participation in a Bet Power Ghana Premier League encounter. Aduana Stars stated that Mensah was not qualified to feature in the league because he had not been authorized to change his name from Joshua Rule to Nicolas Mensah. Aduana Stars wanted the FA to punish Asante Kotoko for the illegality, but the FA said that Mensah's former team, Dumesia Del Sanco FC, was the guilty party, as they were the ones who did the double registration. Kotoko yesterday acknowledged receipt of the decision by the FA and says he will review the decision and decide on the way forward. So that's the latest from the GFA's disciplinary quarters. Now, talking about Aduana Stars, their head coach, Parkwesi Fabian, has been named NASCO Coach of the Month for April, which is his second award of the season, as his team kept their place at the top of the league table. Fabian surpassed Ibrahim Tanko Shaibu of Karela FC, Christopher Enin of Brekum Chelsea, and Max Okonedu of Legon Cities to win the award. Aduana Stars had 3 wins and a draw in April, and they scored 3 and gave away 3. In terms of the players of the month, Hafiz Wunta Konkoni, he is the leading scorer in the Premier League. He was awarded NASCO Player of the Month for April. He scored 4 times in 5 league games. We move on to the Black Princesses, and their head coach is Yusuf Basigi, and he has dismissed claims that Ghana is the favorite to win the inaugural Wafubi Under-20 Girls Tournament, which begins this weekend in Kumasi. Now, the Princesses yesterday beat Niger by 11 goals to nil in a pre-tournament friendly at the Accra Sports Stadium, and they are getting ready to play in the competition. They are in Group A together with Benin and Cote d'Ivoire, while Niger have Togo, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso for company in Group B. For Basigi, he says it was good that the team got a good win against Niger, but they are not favorites for the competition. But he likes the fact that they are building confidence ahead of the start of the competition this weekend.
Fortunately, I think that we have the best, the top scorers in the league in this team, except Princesses. But for the rest are here. We have the likes of Faiza, we have Miriam Ponsa, we have Stella Nyamiche, we have Mafia Nyame. These are players who are top scorers in the league. So I think that having them, at least we will not rely on one person, but at least we can fall on any of them when they go in guest off or when the need arises. We are not under pressure. You know, playing under pressure is one of them. It's normal, no matter what. Whether we are playing at home or we are playing away, you should play under pressure. That will urge you on to play a good game. So I think that yes, there will be, but we'll manage it.
So that was Yusuf Basigi, head coach of the Black Princesses, which is Ghana's female under-20 team. Let's get to Europe, and the Etihad was where all the action was last night in the second semi-final of the UEFA Champions League.
Walker, De Bruyne through to Bernardo Silva. Courtois not keeping that one out. Manchester City's dominance of the game now reflected in the score.
And it was the first of 4 for Man City last night as they beat Real Madrid 4-0 at the Etihad. Bernardo Silva, the star of the show, he got 2. Eder Militao scored an own goal, and Julian Alvarez came off the bench to add gloss to that scoreline. So Man City winning 4-0 on the night. They won 5-1 on aggregate. Let's hear from the star man, Bernardo Silva, and then a very gracious sounding Real Madrid manager, Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night for us. We knew it was going to be tough, but to beat this Madrid team 4-0 at home, it was a wonderful feeling to be in the final again, and hopefully this time we can try and win it.
And a true team performance as well, wasn't it, from the start?
Yeah, with our people, we're always very strong, we know that. They were amazing once again today, and they helped us have that momentum to go after Madrid, because we know how tough they are. Even when the second half started and we were winning 2-0, they pushed us and they could have scored. But yeah, we were very resilient, we were very passionate and organized at the same time. And yeah, so happy with this performance.
Carlo, that must be very hard to take. It's been a great run in the Champions League, but that ends tonight. What can you say about the performance?
It was not a good performance, of course. Manchester City was better. They deserved to win. They played really well above all the first half. They took advantage, and then for us it was difficult to come back in the game. We tried in the second half, but it was so difficult because their performance was really good.
They did play well, but what was missing from Real Madrid's performance?
I think we could manage better the ball. We lost a lot of ball in the first half. They did high pressure in front, and we were not able to move the ball as usual.
So that was Carlo Ancelotti. Before him, he had Bernardo Silva, and they all spoke to BT Sport after that encounter. Staying with European football, the Europa League semi-final second legs are on tonight. Bayer Leverkusen will be at the Bayer Arena. They take on AS Roma. Roma lead 1-0 from the first leg, and it's locked at 1-1 as Sevilla take on Juventus. And that return leg will be played at the Estadio Sanchez Pizjuan. There in the Europa Conference League semi-final second legs, Basel of Switzerland will face Fiorentina of Italy. Basel lead 2-1, and AZ Alkmaar will take on West Ham. West Ham lead 2-1 from that first leg. Now, that's not the only football that will be happening tonight. There's an outstanding Premier League game between Newcastle and Brighton with implications for top four football. And Newcastle manager Eddie Howe says he's looking forward to the challenge of facing Brighton tonight.
It's one we're looking forward to. I think it's going to be a really, really good game between two excellent teams. Got a lot of respect for Brighton and what they've done this season and how they play. And watching them against Arsenal in their last match, I was hugely impressed. So I think it's going to be a really tough assignment for us, but one at home that we're not fearful of. We're going to take a big step forward, hopefully. I think we're not looking too far ahead. I think, as I've said all season, it's small steps. It's the next game. It's trying to get 3 points against a really tough opponent. That's all we can do at this moment in time. We can't look beyond. We can't look at other teams' fixtures. We can't look at external factors. We just have to look very much internally. And we have to bring our A game, because this is going to be, as I said, a really tactical game, I think. I think it's going to be a really intriguing battle. And, hopefully we can show our best.
Eddie Howe is Newcastle United manager. We stay with the Premier League, and Liverpool have confirmed that James Milner, Bobby Firmino, Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will be leaving the club at the end of the season when their contracts expire. Firmino and Milner will leave 8 years after they joined, while Oxlade-Chamberlain joined in 2017. Naby Keita arrived in 2018. They've all been part of club's machine, and Liverpool says they will be giving special acknowledgement when they face Villa in the final home game of the season. We stay in England, and the biggest news, or one of the big news from England, is that Ivan Toney, who plays for Brentford, has been handed an 8-month suspension for more football-related activities by an independent regulatory commission for violating Football Association betting rules. The suspension takes immediate effect, which means Toney will miss Brentford's final games of the season against Spurs and Man City, and he's been given a £50,000 fine, and he cannot train with his teammates up until September 17, but he will not be playing any football up until January 2023. So that's a bit of a tough one for Ivan Toney. He gets banned from football. He had a lot of charges, 200 plus charges of betting related offenses. So that's the punishment he gets. Let's end with some basketball. And it was a good night for Jimmy Butler as he scored 35 points to help the Miami Heat beat the Boston Celtics in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. It was played at the TD Gardens in Boston, but it didn't matter as the Heat torched the Celtics thanks to Jimmy Butler. Kevin Love had 8 points. Bam Adebayo had 20. For the Boston Celtics, the home team, it was a tough night for them. Jason Tatum had 30 points, but it wasn't enough as they couldn't fight the Heat. We wait to see what happens in Game 2 over the weekend in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's our kickoff for this morning, proudly brought to us by Lechero and Shell. My name is Nathan Kwame. Many thanks for listening. There's more sports on citysportsonline.com. We have more news in our subsequent bulletins on TV and on radio. And later tonight, I'll be on City TV to give you the City Sports Roundup at 10 p.m. Do have a fantastic day. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, mama. If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, let's go, mama, mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, come to Let's go. No matter your situation, come to Let's go. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, let's go, let's go, mama, mama. Let's go, we improve your life.
Leshego Savings and Loans. Let's improve life.
Extra, extra. Let me tell you all about it.
Hey, Dolomistic. You and this your extra thing. Abeg, tell me about it.
Abenquine, look, extra is what you and your car get when you switch to Shell Fuel Save. Extra protection, extra clean, and extra savings. You get it?
And no, I mean, tell me extra.
Shell Fuel Save is designed to improve engine efficiency instantly and with triple action formula that helps protect your engine from wear, corrosion, and deposit. So you get extra kilometers out of your drive.
Was made extra, during the Executive Board's meeting held on Wednesday following Ghana's receipt of financing assurances from the Paris Club and other bilateral creditors following the establishment of the Official Creditor Committee co-chaired by China and France. This comes months after Ghana sought help from international lenders to provide financing assurances, which is a prerequisite for the IMF's board to sign off the funds program for the country. Government is expecting the disbursement of the first tranche of $600 million within a week. The second and final tranches will be expected in the subsequent months after successful reviews of the program. Reacting to the approval, Professor John Gachi said Ghana is on track to see some correction in balance of payment deficits.
I think it's a welcome news. Welcome news because the government now has support for its policies. Government credibility will be given to government fiscal policy measures that they put in place because the IMF will serve as a police officer to guide the process and to monitor that things are done well. So to that extent, it's a welcome news. It's also welcome news because government will have some funding soonest to correct the balance of payment process as we go along, and that will have effect on the currency, and then we make frantic effort to structure the economy as we go along.
Professor John Gachi also reiterated calls for government to be more prudent in its fiscal policy direction.
The management of the finances have been so disastrous, and that should be the focus to make sure we repair things that were not done well. We focus to ensure that true prudence is brought to bear in our financial management. So that is what is required. And while we do that, we should know that even if exchange rate comes to 7 cedis per dollar, inflation falls to even 8% within a quicker space, and we don't have growth, what we call inclusive growth, we aren't going anywhere. The temptation for government is to be looking at election ahead of them and be thinking that this IMF program is going to provide some fiscal space, some attraction, across board to the economy of Ghana, for which they want to borrow more and to do things. And that is a great temptation that the government must avoid.
Approval was made during the Executive Board's meeting held on Wednesday following Ghana's receipt of financing assurances from the Paris Club and other bilateral creditors following the establishment of the Official Creditor Committee co-chaired by China and France. This comes months after Ghana sought help from international lenders.
During its quarterly reviews, the PURC observed the need to increase electricity tariffs due to factors such as exchange rates, inflation, electricity generation mix, and the weighted average cost of natural gas. Consequently, the PURC settled on an 18.36% tariff increase to sustain the operations of the Electricity Company of Ghana. Dr. Eric Obute, the Director of Research and Corporate Affairs of the Commission, urged utility consumers to accept this adjustment. In an exclusive interview with Citi News, Dr. Obute explained that although the revision could have been higher at 37%, the PURC opted for a more moderate increase to support both service providers and consumers amidst the prevailing economic conditions.
Now, the utility has to be financially sustainable. They have to be financially viable to be able to keep the business afloat. At the same time, we also need to make sure that the tariffs are affordable for consumers, so they'll be able to pay up the tariffs. So we are there to balance the two sides of the equation. Now, if you look at the utility side, the tariff should have gone up beyond the 18.36%. But the hydro component, for instance, that we used the last time was 26%. This time around, hydro has been improved, so we're using about 29% in the generation mix. So the hydro component actually helped to dampen the tariffs. At the same time also, the commissioners or the board have taken into consideration the economic situation in the country, knowing very well that times are rough for everybody, both the consumer and the utility service provider. So in the wisdom of the commissioners, they think that, look, even though the tariffs are supposed to be at 100% at a particular level, we should pay 50%, and 50% is the 18.36% that we are paying. But if we were to pay the full cost, which is the 100%, the tariff should have been more than, the rate should have been more than the 18.36% that we are supposed to pay.
Which should have been what?
We should have been about 27.51%. We should have been the full cost of 100. But the commissioners decided that no, we should rather pay 18.51, so we can cushion the effect on consumers.
Meanwhile, the PURC has encouraged consumers to report any unsatisfactory service from utility providers to ensure that their payments align with the quality of service received.
The quality of service that you speak of, if the utilities do not inform you and they put off power, you are at liberty to report them to the commission. The commission will take action on that. There are issues bordering on the quality of service. For instance, your pole is broken, your light has not been on for days. If you report to the commission will immediately take action on that and call the utility to order. There are people whose houses even got burnt, and when the commission makes investigations and realizes that it's the fault of the utility, they make the utility replace the cost.
And happy birthday to Kwame J. Jan at that day of the Morning Star School. You're also 10 years old today. May the good Lord bless and keep you from the entire family. And happy 40th, Abuna Gloria Odum, wife of Ransford Odum of NCA head office. A glorious happy 40th birthday. Tell her we love her from Mr. and Mrs. Abraham Damsey Lincoln of ECG Koforidia. And to my lovely husband, Mr. Foster Usu, he turns 40 today. May the Lord continue to bless and favor him with love from your wife, Mrs. Francisca Usu. Message, I love you. And to Lois Nashome Ousu Boateng, Shaw baby, I can never love anyone or anything as much as I love you. Know that I'm willing to risk everything life has to offer just to keep spending my life with you. I pray daily that my love for you will reflect the love of Christ for his church. I love you always, from your husband, Yao Ousu Boateng, a.k.a. Obey, to his wife, Lois Nashome Ousu Boateng. Charlie, wonderful messages coming through all around. In the meantime, both sides of the motorway are clogged. Oh, Aloski, help us. Well, police, please go and help them because I can't help them.
You should calm down. We're wishing birthday.
Also wish my sister Maria Mamponsa Akufo happy birthday. She's the CEO of Macon Distribution. May God bless your hustle, from your sister Sandra Akufo inside Koforidua.
Happy blessed birthday to my famous, that's Mr. Bright. I'm not say of he's our next door neighbor. He's in the corner there. Yes. This one's enjoy because you deserve it and more. It's coming from everyone in your family, from Benny, from your boy tribe. And also, happy blessed birthday, Mama Alexina from Bright, Benny, and the boy tribe, especially Papa. You are one of a kind indeed.
Yeah.
So these are some really, really solid birthday messages. I'll come and find you later.
Meanwhile, I'm told that the police and the fire service are on both sides of the motorway as we speak. So apparently there were 2 accidents. One is a tipper truck on the Tema and Accra side. Another is a bus on the Accra to Tema side. It's raining as well. Motorists should please drive carefully. Charlie, just go back home. Just go back home. I don't know. So,
but what happened? The Tema.
So we're told that there's a tipper truck on the Tema side that fell, and there's the bus.
That road, every time there's something happening.
Yeah.
There is a tanker, some truck.
Yeah.
Also.
And the way it is, it's very difficult to come out. Once you're on the motorway, there aren't U-turns. So
you're stuck.
And it's not like the communities on the adjacent sides have developed so that there'll be like ways in which you can exit. A lot of the exits are even like rough roads.
Yeah.
So we just, commiserations to those of you on the motorway. Just raise the volume, listen to Tom's Diner. All right, so a couple of things to do this morning. Some perspectives on the latest IMF deal. And what I noticed is that a lot of the newspapers have written the story like, oh, Sikanaba, or at long last. Yeah, it's almost like there's an expectation that has been built for the thing to come. And whilst that is true, I feel there could be misplaced hope in this IMF thing, right? Because yes, it's a good temporary relief, but it's not really the solution to our problems. But maybe when we speak to the deputy minister, we'll get some angles.
Oh, we are?
Yeah,
well, my quick take on the whole IMF thing. And I liked the Daily Graphics front page. It was pretty basic on the matter. IMF approves.
Full stop. No frills.
No frills, nothing.
Yes.
There have been Waha and the rest. It's not necessary.
The money has come.
Because I think if you even look at the general demeanor of the Ghanaian populace, I think there has been a bit of education on what the IMF means. So it is no longer easy to come and tell Ghanaians that this is some new hope.
Yeah.
You understand? Because yesterday, whilst you were doing Abin Waha, PURC
was choking
you from the side, 18.36%, based on IMF.
And we're only in May. They did 30% already.
We have 3 new taxes that
took effect first. Income tax.
Based on IMF.
I'm telling you.
Okay. So when you look at it, a lot of people have become savvy to what this means.
Yeah.
It is not...
You can't put a spin on it.
Yeah, you can't really put a spin. So yesterday I saw some of the things. Oh, happy day, from, certain angles. This is the day that the Lord has made. There is nothing to be happy about doing this in record time. There's nothing to be happy about. We all know what going to the IMF means now.
Yeah.
Tough times ahead.
Yeah.
Now we have to meet certain revenue objectives every 6 months as they come and check.
Yes.
That means the government is going to find ways of collecting money.
Squeeze you.
Who is carrying the bill? Us.
So where's the happiness from?
So there have been Waha and all those things.
And we are not even sure what program the government sent to the IMF. And that's a very important point.
Yeah, we'll get more details.
We don't know
today.
even. Yeah, so why are you even rejoicing? You know that you are getting 3 billion over 36 months.
Yes.
I'm even worried that when I interviewed the Minister of State, he said, I asked him a question, I heard the minister make reference to that, hopefully when we restore macro stability, we can go back to the market. And for me, that's terrifying, right? Why do you want to go back to this market? That did this to you. What is to be gained from going back to the market? There are documents that have spelled out many areas of savings and cuts and of revenue generation that don't require you to even go back to the market.
Yes.
All right, because it's the changing nature of your loans that has brought you here. So the idea that the macro stability will make it easy for us to go back.
Yeah.
In fact, when you read the IMF speech, very instructive, said, Ghana has had difficult fiscal, the macro challenges exacerbated by the external shocks.
Yes.
As a consequence, they've been locked out of the international market. And my question is, why is that the first issue?
You don't want us back there.
Why do I want to go back there? What are you going to do there? You get me? So we have to be very careful about the narrative that is put out and also what people interpret this to mean.
Yes, and which is why I am happy from my general observation, it's a pretty carefree one at most, at best, that we are beginning to, as a society, come to understand that once you reach an agreement with the IMF, it is not a day for celebration. There is nothing to celebrate.
Actually,
what are you celebrating? That you reached a deal with the IMF? So
no, you are celebrating that you had
an
objective and then you achieved it.
No, but if you look at it, the IMF. What is the IMF? The IMF is sort of like a lender of last resort.
You are a member of the IMF.
Yes, but it's a lender of last resort, sort of. Is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Now, in order to get access to that, we've spent 10 months running through hoops and hurdles to be able to get there. That tells you that it is not something that is easy to do and it's not something you're expected to be doing. Because if I wanted 3 billion in a normal day as an independent country, why would I need to go and beg China, France,
all kinds of things.
Tell the US that we beg you, bend over backwards to accommodate whatever whims that they have for the past 6 or 7 months on, and perhaps who knows for the next year or two, based on the help that we have received. Okay, so a lot of things have gone into this place. So for me, what I did not expect to hear, and sadly we saw that yesterday from certain quarters, is this whole outburst of joy that Ghana has reached a deal with the IMF. It is shameful. There is nothing to be happy about.
If somebody wants to be joyful, what's your problem?
No, but what are you joyful about? The day
the joy of the Lord is your strength.
No, but on that same day, based on the deal that you have reached, I'm supposed to pay 18.36% more for power, based on part of the agreements that you have reached.
Okay, let me contextualize the joy. What's
the joy?
As we sit here now, what's the alternative to that money not
coming? Somber reflection. Reflect.
No, but reflection will not pay the bills. Like, as you are here, you get 600 million. The currency has started strengthening. So it's giving you some temporary reprieve.
So that is the joy?
Yes. You have to choose your joy because your sorrow will choose itself.
No. For me, it's a moment of sober reflection. You see, because what you have basically done is that the things that you should have done for yourself, now you are going to be instructed on how to do it.
No, but I take your point. I
understand you.
I'm being facetious.
I know you're being facetious.
100%.
There's nothing to be happy about.
Once the narrative is not properly put out, it then gives a license for profligacy and again political
shenanigans. They're going to.
It's like political chest beating.
Yeah, yesterday I saw #economic restoration. Hashtag.
Yeah, I saw one.
Record breakers. Hashtag.
Oh, you saw all that?
All these things.
I saw
what record break? So
resilient recovery.
I heard a statement from somebody in some quarters.
Yeah, let me. Context of the record is that the Sri Lankans needed 7 months to get their external creditors to come to an agreement before they got their deal. Zambia needed like
17
months for their creditors. Of course, because China had a stronger hand. A lot more of their debt was Chinese. In our 5 billion of bilaterals, China has less than 2 billion.
2 billion, yes.
So the agreement was much easier to reach. And so some people say, we've done it in 6 months, so we've done well.
What is that we've done well?
Not even that we've done it in 6 months. Our external creditors have come to agreement to help us earlier.
Because they know that this country, once they help us earlier, like they said, we heard last week, we are happy to go back to that market and borrow again. We never learn lessons. Yeah. They know that we are happy to come back. We have not even received the money and we are plotting to go back to the market.
Because I think the way they see the market is like, it's now a natural part. And to be fair, the type of money available, okay, so let's just put it this way. If you talk about, so every country has to raise enough resources to bring to finance its development. Unfortunately, a lot of countries in the global south have not found a way to do that. So what tends to happen is that in the past, they were depending on development aid.
Yes.
All right. Now, this development aid for some reason has shrunk because we've seen it for what it is, that it doesn't really spur development. So generally, official development assistance has reduced. There are multilateral agencies that give money, the World Bank, the IMF, and all these things. They've come down. Then there's the bilateral arrangements. The Ghanaian and the Germans who have an agreement, they'll give us money, Ghanaian and the French. Again, because of all the problems in the Western world and all their citizens and the things they've said, that's also reduced. So they have sort of, bilateral money has come down.
Yeah.
Now, Kufuor in 2007 had a smart idea to go to the Eurobond market to borrow.
Yes.
And he got 700 million. From there, other presidents have continued in that same trajectory.
Linked to our oil.
Yes, so they collateralize some of your natural resources and then they go and borrow. So they do these tours and then they go and ask money. So what's happening is that our debt has changed in three forms.
Yeah.
Our debt has now moved from cheaper, what they call concessionary loans. It's like a concession. I'm giving you the loan because I like you. We used to do business. My companies are here. We used to be your colonial masters. So we'll give you a loan and you pay a soft loan. Some of it is a grant. The concessional loans are reducing, and now we are going for these Eurobond types. So of our 56 billion debt, about 13 billion is just Eurobonds. Commercial hardcore loans. Some of these countries actually specialize in lending to countries, and then they'll come and seize their ships or their natural resources to pay back. All right. Somehow our governments have found the appetite for that type of borrowing. This government in particular has done it more than most.
Yes.
Some people think because of the outlook of the Minister of Finance,
Yeah.
right? Because
He's
it's
a markets
from the
person.
markets now. So that's one. So the debts are becoming more commercial, right? So as against
between states,
exactly. Then also there's the external component of our debt and the domestic. The government is borrowing more domestically now.
Heavily.
So yesterday I was talking on the point of view about, if you look at our domestic debts, half of that is to the banking sector. So the government, in 2021, the government owes a certain amount of money domestically. 30% of that money is held by private companies and individuals, about 16% by foreign companies of domestic currency debt.
Yeah.
Half of that money is borrowing from the banking and the Bank of Ghana. So 50% of that is domestic. So that's another part of the discussion where you are exposing your domestic economy to systemic risk by borrowing domestically from them. Okay. Then the third issue is that our debts are also moving from west to east. So we used to borrow a lot from America, from Europe. Somehow the Chinese are getting more involved in our business. So we are borrowing more and more from there, which is what complicates all the borrowing. So when they say that it's a record 6 months, you have to understand the context. They are saying that, look, there's a very complicated geopolitical game being played. And the fact that we owe everybody everywhere means that we can't get a simple deal. The deal has to now go through Beijing, Washington, and London and Paris before they give you the deal.
Yeah.
Right? So the context of saying that it's a record time is that if you look at where Ghana is and the 3 layers of our debts, it is remarkable that they managed to achieve this in this time, if it's an achievement at all. Okay, but I still think you are right in saying that there should be sober reflection. This should not necessarily be a happy day.
Not at all.
For a country that is not financially sovereign and has to depend on institutions that have their own objectives.
Yes.
There should be, it should be muted.
Yeah.
But looking at the political, again, you need to understand the context. Because the economy was what brought this government to power, and the economy is what is beating them, they are clutching at straws to create good news from everything. So this issue about record time, economic recovery, they can't wait for the economic recovery. So sometimes they want to front load. In fact, they want to recover verbally before the economy recovers in real time. Because there's no message if the economy doesn't recover.
It's true.
And there's an election in less than 2 years. So they are desperate for the economy to recover. Even if it means that a little record of having an IMF deal in 6 months against 7 months is going to be part of the achievements. Right? But that's why we are here, to say that no, this is not what we are looking for.
Yes.
Your real job is not just to stabilize the economy, but to create jobs, to develop the economy. So if you've been forced, and again, if you read the IMF, let me just read this, and if you read the IMF's own narrative,
yes,
one of the issues about this whole thing has been the narrative. Oh, everything was going fine until external shocks. Now read the IMF narrative. The IMF says the executive board decision will enable an immediate disbursement of $600 million. Now listen to this paragraph, my emphasis. Large external shocks in recent years have exacerbated Ghana's pre-existing fiscal and debt vulnerabilities, resulting in loss of international market access, which was my problem. Why did they start with that? Increasingly constrained domestic financing of government financing and reliance on monetary financing of the government and decreasing international reserves. What I wanted you to take note was large external shocks. So we admit that what made things worse was the external shocks. But it's also already a bad situation. That's what IMF is saying. The word exacerbated means it has made it worse. And you know so. And then they use the word pre-existing. So the COVID example, COVID attacked everybody. Those with underlying pre-existing conditions, COVID kills you faster. Somebody can get COVID, but they will recover in 2 weeks. Somebody can get COVID and die. It's the same COVID. But so the COVID effect on you depends on your internal resilience.
Your underlying conditions.
Fantastic. So what the IMF is saying is that these external shocks, and indeed over 21 countries are going to the IMF for various things within this period. But what made Ghana's condition worse was the pre-existing fiscal and debt vulnerabilities, which resulted in a number of things. Again, I want you to take note of the things the IMF points out too, resulting in loss of international market access. All right, so the borrowing game continues as far as everybody is concerned. This is what they are trying to say. Oh, the market won't lend to you, so you're a basket case. But when we stabilize your economy and you can guarantee that more revenue is coming, you go and borrow more. And we are saying that that's the thing that has to stop. So the purpose of the IMF deal should not be to go back to the market to go and borrow at the expensive rates. The IMF deal should say, let's now think about how do we raise the resources internally? How do we find a way of making it in a way that reduces our exposure to foreign currency so we can be a properly sovereign nation? That's what we should be talking about, right? So we talk about lack of market access, increasing constrained domestic financing, reliance on the monetary financing of the government. What they mean is the printing of money.
Yes.
And decrease international reserves, steady depreciation, rising inflation, and plummeting domestic investor confidence. All these things are related. Eventually triggered an acute crisis. The authorities have taken bold steps to tackle these deep challenges, including accelerating fiscal adjustment, which is what you mentioned. They passed 3 new taxes as number 1. Then they increased tariffs as number 2. They launched a comprehensive debt restructuring to address severe financing, DDE, where people's monies had to have haircuts. So they used the word a comprehensive debt restructuring to address severe financing constraints and the unsustainable public debt, securing timely debt restructuring agreements with external creditors. Now, what I'm going to say is that when your government was broke, the first person whose money they used or said they won't pay was your money. Now, yes, they said they will defer payments for Eurobonds, but they didn't say they won't pay. They needed 6 months for bilateral creditors to come and agree that we will give you some debt relief. We don't even know the details
of that yet. Yeah.
But your money that you earned and went to put in some fund management company, it got a haircut, it got a market loss. So we shouldn't allow even the IMF to lead the narrative
at all,
because it is our money that initially got stuck. Now, on the responsibility side, we also have to pay.
Yes.
Right? So, yes, property tax has been introduced. We have to pay.
Has this been introduced?
You discussed that with GRA and the local assemblies. They've started piloting it. So, there's a conversation to be had about what we contribute for the government. I agree to that. But what I'm saying is that we shouldn't let somebody shoehorn the government to go back to the market.
At all.
Particularly because everything they've asked us to pay, we've paid. They've increased the tariff twice in less than 6 months. We are paying. They've given our money marked. Yesterday, my
your guy reached out to you.
No, they sent me an email. I couldn't open it. Sky, I couldn't open it.
You hovered over it.
I couldn't. Since the debt exchange, usually when I every month my investment
your portfolio
bank
guy
send me
you something.
This thing, Mr. I couldn't open it. I couldn't open it because I don't want to see. Sky, I've done this thing for over 3 years. Almost Charlie. So I'm paying the price, even involuntarily and voluntarily. Okay, so what we are saying is that there has to be sober reflection on what this actually means and what we need to do going forward. And I thank Godfrey for bringing that issue up. If we get somebody from government, we'll speak to them. Otherwise, I'm going to move into tech and social media trends at 8, and then we'll get to the legal issues. All right, so let's talk about Imperial General Assurance. Imperial General Assurance believes your insurance experience should be memorable. When you insure with us, you have the peace of mind to focus on what matters to you because we will be there for you when the unexpected happens. Our newly introduced travel insurance policy, the Imperial Travel, gives you total cover for all your travels outside Ghana. Talk to us today for all your insurance needs: motor, engineering, accident, marine, fire bonds, and have the insurance experience that gives you smile. Call Imperial General on 0302-788-955 or 0577-667-436, or talk to your insurance broker or any of our agents. Imperial General, solid protection. Republic Bank says keep making all your payments with our fantastic 4 credit cards. Enjoy great discounts from our partner merchants, cashback rewards, global concierge services, and access to 1 million ATMs worldwide, while you stand a chance to win a 2-day staycation at Aqua Safari and other amazing prizes in the Tap for Easter and Beyond credit promo. Just tap to pay, live the soft life, we've got you. Terms and conditions apply. Republic Bank, we are the one for you. Everybody's looking for that one thing that pushes them to bring out their best, enables them to reach peak performance. Your car wants this too. That's why your best bet is to give it Shell Helix engine oil. It's specially designed to bring the best out of your engine, protecting it from wear and tear while providing the power and performance needed to give you the best ride every time. So whether you're cruising on the road, battling with busy traffic, Shell Helix will keep your engine running smoothly. Choose Shell Helix lubricant for the ultimate power, performance, and protection. All right, so actually, we have the deputy minister who will join us in the studio. It's just that we've already eaten the breakfast. So usually, if she shall come at 6:30, she'll have had the breakfast. She came at 7:56, so she will join us for breakfast, figuratively. But before taking some of that trends, a quick pass through. Apioko Seram Abe just returned from Kenya after representing the company at a very important program.
With a very long
dress.
Yeah,
but she's here. Apioko, why are you here?
I'm here because it's 2023. And if you cast your mind back around this time, we usually announce the beginning of our educational campaign, the Literacy Challenge.
All right.
So that's why I'm here.
All right.
The Literacy Challenge 2023 is officially opening today.
Hooray!
Yes. It's in 3 levels.
Okay.
And we usually start off with an essay competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you know what the topic is. Are you ready? It's not any IMF anything.
So take your time. So the Literacy Challenge is our annual education campaign for JHS students.
Exactly.
And it comprises an essay competition.
That's right.
An aptitude test.
At level 2.
And then a quiz.
A live quiz.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So you are here this morning to announce the essay topic.
That's right.
Which must be written and presented in not less than 600 words.
Mm-hmm.
Handwritten and signed by a parent, guardian, or teacher.
Precisely so.
And either mailed to Citi or brought physically.
Exactly.
So what's the topic?
Okay, so our topic, in not less than 600 words, write a story that ends with a statement. The happiest people do not have the best of everything. They make the best of everything they have.
Can you repeat that?
In not less than 600 words, write a story that ends with a statement. The happiest people do not have the best of everything. They make the best of everything they have.
All right. And this is for JHS students.
JHS students.
How long do they have to write this? When do they have to submit the entries?
We're closing entries on Saturday, 15th July, 2023.
So you have 2 weeks you have a week and a few days in May.
In May.
The whole of June and 2 weeks in June.
In July.
To present this.
Yes. And a lot of, now the timetables have changed. So at this point, some students may be getting ready to write their exams, go on holiday. Others will be going. But, it's an interesting system we have now. So this net of a window should be able to allow everyone who wants to participate to have a chance to do that comfortably. Yes.
So the essay topic again is in not less than 600 words. Write a story which ends with the expression. Repeat the expression.
The happiest people do not have the best of everything. They make the best of everything they have.
The happiest people do not have the best of everything. They make the best of everything they have.
Exactly.
Right? A story that ends
Yes.
with that.
Yes.
The happiest people do not have the best of everything. They make the best of everything they have.
Precisely so. And just to reiterate that the script must be in the student's own handwriting, right? There's a reason for it. Maybe we'll explain that as time goes on. A lot of people have asked, oh, it's a digital age. Why can't we type? No, we want it in the student's own handwriting. Then the script must be endorsed by a parent or a guardian. And a guardian can include a teacher for those students who don't have a parent or a guardian at home, but their teachers are the ones helping them with this. That's allowed. And then you must add your full contact details, phone number, address, however we can find you, email address, just put it on there. And then if you have any further inquiries, you can call 0558 973 973. 0558 973 973. But let me also just add that for those who want to mail their entries in, especially if you don't live in Accra, you can submit the entries via P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. And then, of course, if you're hand delivering, Citi FM is behind the Adabaka Police Station, and Citi TV is at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tesano. You can bring it to any of the locations, depending on which is easier for you to access.
Can you scan it and just WhatsApp it?
No. We want the physical script. AI Sky. We want the physical script. And Bernard, lastly, at the end of the entire competition, when you make it past level 1, make it to level 2, make it to level 3, and you win 10,000 Ghana cedis, a trophy, and bragging rights, just for you as a JHS student. No, but Sky, you're not. I hope you know that you don't qualify.
I know that I'm not qualified. People in my house.
Neither do your children.
Okay? That's the problem I have.
All right.
But yeah, I would encourage you wherever you are to actually seize this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because I mean you never know. It's something that you use tomorrow. It's something that takes you somewhere else
Definitely.
tomorrow. It's a competition when you go back home instead of playing too much game on your phone. Sit down and think of writing something.
Exactly.
You never know. You might relieve the burdens on the family with 100,000 Ghana cedis.
I tell you,
10,000. 10,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
I mean, just because you've been able to sit down and crack your brain and write something.
Of course.
So
and let's
do.
not forget that within the next 11 months, Accra is the UNESCO World Book Capital. So as a young person, this can be the beginning of your novel, which can become a source of income for you. So let's take it seriously and encourage our children to write.
I'm sure you'll come back again and talk about this.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So Literacy Challenge officially has been open, and we know what we are supposed to do if you're a JHS student. Time check is 3 minutes past 8. Time for tech and social media trends. Brought to you by Vodafone. Looking for the best value data and voice offers? Look no further, as Vodafone has unbeatable deals made just for you. To enjoy this amazing offers, dial *530#. Get onto any of the Vodafone Made For Me bundles for as little as 1 Ghana cedi. Vodafone Made For Me has got just what you need. This offer is specially made for you. Simply dial *530# or visit my Vodafone app to subscribe. And in celebration of motherhood, FBN Bank invites you, our female entrepreneurs and professionals, to sign up for the First Gem account designed for women aged 18 and above. Do you prefer a personal savings or current First Gem account, or you look to open a First Gem entrepreneur account? Either way, we've got you covered. Enjoy the many attractive and exciting benefits when you open the FBN First Gem account. Call 059 69 21 921 or visit any FBN branch. You can also go to fbnbankghana.com for more information. All right, so let's get into the trends, Nathan.
Yes. You can imagine, well, there are lots of football-related trends. Man City 4, Real Madrid 0. That's trending in the Champions League. You have other affiliated trends. Barca, Inter Milan, all of those things trending. # Champions League, # RMA MCI. all trending as well.
Charlie.
So Man City's display, it was brilliant.
Man City's distraction.
It was absolutely fantastic.
Distraction of Real Madrid.
Just watching them. And it was almost inevitable. You could tell that the ball would go into the net at a point. And it did. Bernardo Silva, he got 2. Eden Militao scored an own goal. And Julian Alvarez added the 4th. Other things trending. Pokoli is trending. Now, why is Pokoli trending? Yesterday there was a video, and Pokoli is a dancer, and there was a video of him, a very viral video of him and Chris Brown and Davido doing the Unavailable challenge. It's a dance that goes with Davido's new song, Unavailable. And you could see Chris Brown, Davido, and Pokoli all dancing. It's a video that's caught a lot of fire. Haja for real is trending for very obvious reasons. And in terms of the basketball trends, Jimmy Butler is trending. He scored 35 points for the Miami Heat as they beat the Boston Celtics in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That's on the basketball side of things. So you have a soft spot for Boston.
The Celtics. Yeah.
Anyway, to some tech news. Now, the U.S. state of Montana is set to become the first to ban Chinese-owned media giant TikTok from personal devices. Governor Greg Gianforte signed the ban into law on Wednesday, and it will take effect on January 1, 2024. Okay? The video sharing platform says the ban infringes on the First Amendment rights of the people of Montana. So
that it means other states may join.
Other states may join.
TikTok banned in the whole state.
Yes, in the whole state.
By everybody.
Yes,
you can't use.
You cannot use TikTok there. Let's not forget, TikTok has had some run-ins with the US government. A few months ago, the owner of TikTok actually sat in a hearing, and he was the subject of a congressional hearing and all of that. So like I'm saying, Montana has a population of just over 1 million people, and they banned the app on government devices last December. So they've moved on from government to the entire public.
Okay. That was taking social media trends.
One day, an old lady inherited a huge sum of money. Her family worried about how to break the good news to her. They feared that the sudden good news might give her a heart attack. And so they decided the family doctor who was experienced in delivering such news should be the one to tell her. And when he did, surprisingly, she just smiled. Relieved, he asked, "What are you going to do with all that money?" She replied, "I'm going to give you half." The doctor had a heart attack. People are often surprised when we put them first. At FBN Bank, that's what we do. We put you first. Open an account with us today and enjoy mobile banking, USSD banking, shop and pay with our prepaid Visa cards, MasterCard, and many other services designed with you in mind. FBN Bank, you first.
Ever visited a shop, picked a whole basket of provisions, toiletries, and very essential things you need, battled a long queue to finally pay, only to be told you can't pay to a merchant number? The way that thing they pay, but with Vodafone Cash, there is no problem. Now on Vodafone Cash, you can pay all merchants on all networks. Easy peasy. Aye straight. Aye direct. Aye sharp. From your Vodafone Cash wallet to any merchant number on other networks. So whether you are buying provisions or fuel, medication or food, whatever the service or need, just pay conveniently from Vodafone Cash to any merchant number. Simply dial *110# to make payment to merchants on other networks today.
Vodafone. Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Kickstart your day the safe and right way with a freshly brewed cup of piping hot coffee from Shell Bakery or Vida E Cafe. Reconnect and catch up with friends and unwind over cheesy burger goodness during your lunch break at Burger King. Relax this evening with drinks and meals at Honeysuckle and Starbites.
Relax and enjoy the perfect weekend plan filled with fun, food, and family at KFC, Burger King, or Starbites.
Refuel your energy at Shell and let your adventure drive you on this road trip.
Take a break at any of our Shell stations and enjoy any of these great offers from our partner restaurants. Shell, go well.
For Pepsodent, smiles are one of the most important things we have. The problem is, globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Pepsodent, with maximum cavity protection, helps to prevent the formation of cavities. Pepsodent, because every smile matters. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hello, fellow citizens. Are you worried about where to treat your kidneys and liver diseases? Well, let me use this opportunity to introduce to you the best kidney and liver health facility in Ghana. Big Dank Healthcare offers treatment and management of the following: fatty liver, kidney stones, hydronephrosis, pyelonephritis, hepatomegaly, protein in the urine, and many more. Visit Big Dank Healthcare to see a kidney and liver specialist, Dr. Victor Nanadankwa, who has been awarded and honored by UN as the Icon of Peace by Highstone International University, Texas, USA. Big Dank Healthcare, a Ghana Health Service certified healthcare facility, is licensed under the Traditional Medicine Practice Council with 100% natural medicine from India for all treatments. Visit Big Dank Healthcare on the Spintex Road, Coca-Cola Roundabout, behind Standard Chartered Bank. You can also call Big Dank Healthcare on 0549 951 211 or 0502 661 346.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
It's time for ShopRite's Big Low Price Carnival. Get ready for affordable offers on show-stopping deals for families of every size. Like 1.3 kilograms Sadia whole frozen chicken for only 49 cedis, 99 pesos worth, and 450 grams Lily spaghetti for a low 8 cedis, 99 pesos worth. Don't miss out on these unbelievable deals and more. Valid until 28th May. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
So 12 minutes past 8, Citi Breakfast Show, studio interview coming up shortly. My guest is the Deputy Minister for Finance, MP for Etiwa East, and she's going to be telling us government's feelings about this significant development. I'm sure you know that yesterday the IMF board met and the decision was taken. We will be covering a press conference. In fact, we have been sent a link from the IMF. So at 2:30 p.m. on Citi TV, we will be in Washington, and we actually have been invited to send questions for the panel, which will include 2 people from Ghana and 2 people from the other side, as they officially announce the package. So what we've read and what we've seen is basically the brief information about what's happening. So the details will be known at 2:30 today, and we'll be covering that press conference live on Citi TV. So for those of you who are interested in getting more insights into the program details, we will be doing the live coverage for you. But before we do the interview, I want to make a few quick announcements. Nathan, please help me.
Yes. The Noble International Business School is putting together a doctorate program in business admin and leadership, and they are calling for people to sign up and come and learn. Now, the course will transform you, or the program will transform you into a practitioner scholar who merges theory and practice for evidence-based decision-making and leadership. If you are interested, call Isaac on 0266 822 310 or visit nips.edu.gh. Now, can you really call it savings or investment if all you keep doing is paying charges on the account?
You can't call it that.
Can't call it that.
No.
At Bayport, though, we believe in an investment account that should make you more money.
Mhm.
That's why our fixed deposit has been the preferred choice for most Ghanaians in the
Okay.
last 20 years. Call Bayport on 0302 745 454. Bayport, your future now. Now, in life, when you find the best, you stick to it. That's why Bell Pack paper tissue is one you should have with you always. Okay. Now, Bell Pack is smooth and gentle on the skin, and they also have the Bell Pack kitchen towel. Call Bell Aqua on 0551 144 400 if you want to be a distributor. Okay. Now, Pepsodent is saying that for 25 years they've been educating people on how to brush their teeth properly day and night, and they keep doing that. And they also have great products. The Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and micro-calcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth, and that prevents cavities and keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you or call their customer number or 0800 20030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
All right, so in studio is Honorable Abena Osei. She's the Deputy Minister for Finance, MP for Tiwa East. It's fair to say the Finance Ministry has been very, very busy in the past few months. Trips to Washington, lots of meetings in Parliament, 3 new taxes. I'm sure even sitting in the studio, you are catching some breath. It's good to have you. Good morning, Abena Osei. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And
Yeah.
good morning to your listeners as well.
How busy has it been for you at the ministry in the past maybe 6 months?
Let me use this opportunity to thank Ghanaians, because Ghanaians have also been busy.
Mm.
They've been following us through, asking questions and making sure we take the best decision that inures to the benefits of, the citizens. So I want to thank Ghanaians. They've been busy with us, and they've seen us through it all. Yes, we have been busy, but the most important thing is that what we set out to do, we have been able to achieve it. And we thank the leadership of the Minister, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, and management of the Ministry of Finance. And also we want to thank the leadership role that the President played, because we all know that the IMF is a lender of last resort. No country predicts a crisis. But when there's a crisis, you have to take the decision that best inures to the benefit of all citizens, not just your personal decision. And so this is a decision that the President weighed very well and took, because they feel that this is what currently the decision we can take that will inure to the benefit of all citizens and help us with the PCPEG, which we call the COVID-19 Economic Recovery Program, that this IMF is anchored on. We ourselves came up with this, knowing the situation in which we find ourselves, and then we wanting to get out of it and stabilize the economy and cause some transformation in the way we do things.
So how critical is this IMF deal in the broad scheme of government's economic strategy?
Remember, government realized somewhere in 2022, we all saw what was happening. Just when we thought the COVID-19 was over and we're recovering, and then the Russia and Ukraine also, hit us. But prior to that, we noticed that, yes, our debt levels had gone up, and because we had to go in for some substantial amount of money to help us fund and address the COVID-19 situation.
Okay.
And so in that 2022 budget, you saw government indicating that it wants to embark on fiscal consolidation, reduce its debt levels to make sure we bring it to a sustainable level. And in 2023, based on all the happenings in 2022, government came up with the COVID-19 PCPEG program. And in this program, the blueprint is this: one, to restore macroeconomic stability, to bring fiscal operations and public debt to a sustainable level, to support the structural reforms we all have been talking about, and finally, to make sure that nobody is left behind. So to promote strong and inclusive growth and protect the poor and vulnerable as well. So this is what the IMF program that we agreed with is based on. And this is the PCPEG program.
So this is the post-COVID program for economic growth.
Yes.
And so this one that has been agreed is like the second level, the ECF.
Yes.
So it's like a follow-up to the PCPEG
Yeah,
program.
this is what we set out to do.
Okay.
And then we needed the support.
Oh, so the
credibility.
PCPEG is your program?
It is our program.
Okay. Okay, I get it. So
Yes.
the PCPEG is your program.
It's our program. And this is what we set out with the IMF to help us achieve our PCPEG program.
So this PCPEG, is the document available for us to read what the details are?
It is available. It's even in the 2023 budget.
Okay.
And in there, let me just give you the highlights of this program. One, to aggressively mobilize domestic revenue. You see us encouraging compliance and using administrative measures to increase the collection of taxes, as well as digitization in that area to make sure we reduce human influence. And also, we want to streamline, or we have begun streamlining and rationalizing our expenditures, and to cut down on expenditure and make sure that what we have, we only spend what we have. We also, as part of the PCPEG, want to boost local production capacity. And with our 1D, 1F, our planting for food and jobs, that is what we want to do to reduce our dependence on imports. Because part of the deterioration of the economy was as a result of we not making forex available to our importers to import goods. And so if we are able to address this situation, our dependence on forex for imports will also come down. As part of the PCPEG, we are also looking at expanding digital and climate responsive fiscal infrastructure. And finally, we want to protect the poor and the vulnerable and implement the structural reforms that we need in our public financial management. And for that, we cannot do all these things without the support of citizens. So even though the IMF, it's been approved and we've gone through the program, and we're going to receive $3 billion over the next 3 years. Every year, or half a year or twice in a year, there will be a review. And there are certain benchmarks that we have set for ourselves that we need to achieve before these monies come in. So that is why I keep on saying that we cannot do it alone. We need the support of citizens to make sure we fall in line and be able to meet the targets that we ourselves have agreed with the IMF to make sure that we turn the economy around and be able to achieve the PCPEG, which we know will transform the economy.
What I know is that usually when a government has a plan like the PCPEG and they submit it or they sort of present it, there's a discussion with their development partners, and in this case, the IMF. So the PCPEG you submitted, was it approved in its entirety? Or because I believe that there will be some agreed areas of reform that both sides will come to, which then will sort of give the people the impetus that they will give us the money. So what I wanted to find out was that what are the main expectations of the IMF from us between now and November? Because as you said, the review will be in phases. So the money comes this week, then November there's review. Second tranche comes 6 months, there's review. So can we know some of the key things they will expect us to do, or we are committing to do, let me use that word, between now and November, so that the next tranche will also come?
The first is restoring macroeconomic stability. And that one comes when we look at our fiscal measures. How much revenue are we raising to support the budget that we are implementing? What is it that we can do to make sure we mobilize or maximize domestic revenue? So as part of the PCPEG, certain targets have been set for us to mobilize the needed revenue. These targets, you saw us going to Parliament in the 2023 budget to come up with new tax handles and also to encourage compliance and use administrative measures to increase our revenues. So under our revenue measures or under restoring macroeconomic stability, these are the things that we need to do. We need to increase our revenue. We need to also look at our expenditures. What is it that we are duplicating? What is it that we can postpone for now and make sure we create the space for other equally important things? So that is the first thing. And then the second thing that we are hoping to achieve and that we have set targets for ourselves under this IMF program is our debt levels. Bringing our debt levels to a sustainable level. And one, we had to embark on the domestic debt exchange program. That was part of the targets that we had agreed with the IMF that, yes, I want to give you money, but you need to also tell me how you are managing your debt levels to bring it to a sustainable level so that you can get some space to do other equally important things.
So the DDE was one of the...
We did the domestic one.
Yeah.
And hopefully the external one, you heard that on Monday, our bilateral partners as well as China co-chaired a credit committee, which they are also going to come out with some level of support in that area and make sure that together we work to bring the debt levels down. So that is also a very important part of the IMF program. The next is supporting our structural reforms. Structural reforms in the area of bringing some efficiency in the way we manage government finances. One, we are looking at the statutory funds. You know, we set up these statutory funds for a purpose. So we are reviewing them, one, to see whether it is still fit for purpose. Two, whether it is giving us the relevance or we are realizing the objective for which we set it up now. And then two, making sure we bring all the statutory funds onto the Ghana government financial management system. Prior to that, we didn't have them on the GIFME system. And so DACF, GET Fund, NHI, all these statutory funds are now being brought as part of the arrangements to bring about some efficiency and accountability as well. And then the last is also making sure that we promote strong and inclusive growth and protect the poor and the vulnerable. Bernard, we all know that with the COVID and the Russian-Ukraine war, people were hit differently. And this has increased the poverty gap. And so it is not just an IMF program to restore macroeconomic stability, but also to make sure nobody is left behind. So as part of this particular IMF program, inclusive growth and supporting the poor and vulnerable plays a very important role, where they have identified certain social spendings that they expect us to fund properly to make sure that nobody is left behind.
Right. So you've mentioned a number of things. The DDE, which has largely been done, domestic debt exchange. You talked about taxes. 3 new taxes were introduced, which took effect from 1st of May. And then you spoke about structural reform. There's a feeling that a lot of the pain is being taken by us because the DDE, it is really our money that was hampered. I got a haircut on my investment, and essentially a lot of agencies like the banks and all of those things will take impairments, which inevitably affects us. Again,